Wakanda's history hides a secret most people have never heard. Long before T'Challa, long before the Black Panther we know today, there was another ruler, one who fought beside Bashena, the very first king in Wakanda, but chose a darker path. Her name was Bask, the first warrior queen of Wakanda, a woman erased from the history books because her rise nearly tore the nation apart. Today, we uncover Bask's full origin story, from her battles, the betrayals, and to the very moment she almost changed Wakanda forever. To tell this story, we need to start with Bashena. In the comics, Bashena is remembered as the first Black Panther, chosen by the goddess Bask herself to wield the power of the heart-shaped herb. Thousands of years ago, he united the warring tribes of Wakanda after a vibranium meteor struck their land. This was not just a political act, it was spiritual. Bashena recognized that vibranium was both a gift and a curse. He founded the Panther cult to ensure that vibranium was never abused, that Wakanda would be protected but never corrupted. This is the story we all know and loved, but in Marvel's animated series Avengers Assemble Season 5, it was revealed that Bashena did not work alone. In Season 5, Episode 18, titled Bashena, we learn through the memories of Queen Yamandi and the visions of the crown of Bashena that Bashena had a twin sister, Bask. Together, they fought to defend Wakanda from invaders. Their greatest enemy at the time was Atlantis, whose armies clashed with Wakanda in brutal wars. It was during one of these battles that Bask and Bashena discovered something extraordinary. Driven into a hidden cavern by Atlantean soldiers, they came across a glowing red vibranium core. This was not ordinary vibranium. It pulsed with unstable, dangerous energy. Bashena felt immediately that this ore was too powerful to be used, but Bask was entranced. In the episode, her words make her conviction clear. She insists that Wakanda cannot survive unless they use this power of the core to strike first. Bashena counters her, reminding her that power without restraint will destroy them. Their argument is cut short when Atlantis launches another attack, and in defiance of her brother, Bask channels the core's power into a weapon. The result is devastating. The Atlantean city is obliterated in an instant, and the Atlanteans were forced to run into the sea where they build their new home. Worried, Bashena told her sister that destroying all of their enemy forces was no way to get the tribes to follow them in their mission to build a strong Wakanda. Bask declared that she would make the people obey them with the power of the vibranium core. This moment becomes the fracture that changes everything. Bashena, horrified at the destruction and her sister's words, turns against her. To him, she has betrayed everything they stand for. But to Bask, she has proven that Wakanda's survival requires strength above all else. From that day, the siblings take different paths. Bashena becomes the remembered founder of Wakanda, the first king in Black Panther. Bask becomes the queen erased from history. The brother-sister duo engaged in a brutal fight, and the power of the core eventually turned Bask into a monster and was trapped inside the core. But Bashena feared the power of the core could wipe out Wakanda itself. To protect his people, he knew the core had to be contained and hidden to prevent further abuse. Bashena hides the core in ancient ruins in Scotland and keeps a map of its location on his spear. Centuries later, Queen Yamandi of Wakanda obtains that map and, with the help of Thor, locates Bashena's core. The witch Morgan Le Fay steals the core from them and uses her sorcery to forge it into the crown of Bashena. Yamandi and Thor eventually recover the crown, and Yamandi secures it in Wakanda. Centuries later, Bask's memory returns in the most unexpected way. In the present timeline of Avengers Assemble, T'Challa dons the crown of Bashena, a relic that allows him to relive ancestral memories. What he sees shakes him. He did not only witnesses Bask's actions, but he also feels her presence, alive, preserved within the crown itself. For T'Challa, this is not just history. It is a confrontation with the spirit of someone his people deliberately erased from history. While T'Challa was using the crown to assess the ancestral memories, Bask obtained the ability to sense T'Challa's presence, and she sucked him into a past dimension where she attacked him and asked him to hand over the crown. Eventually, Captain America, who was trapped earlier in the crown, came to T'Challa's rescue and told him that they didn't have any time and that they needed to get out of this place before it was too late. Eventually, T'Challa returned to the present with Captain America, but they accidentally brought Bask along. With the help of Killmonger and the Shadow Council, Bask does not remain a memory for long. In episode 21, Widowmaker, she emerges fully, challenging T'Challa's claim to the throne. She invokes one of Wakanda's oldest traditions, trial by combat. In their duel, Bask's philosophy is made plain. She calls T'Challa weak, like her brother Bashena, arguing that his reliance on mercy and diplomacy will doom Wakanda. She believes that only a ruler who strikes without hesitation can keep their nation safe. The fight between them is intense, not only a clash of skill but of ideology, and in the end, T'Challa is defeated and is on the run. Bask seizes the throne with the help of the power of the crown, and with it, Wakanda itself. Her rule is swift and merciless. In episode 22, Atlantis attacks. She imprisons Shuri and declares war on Atlantis. This is the war she always wanted to finish, the war she began thousands of years ago. With Bashenga's core as her weapon, she constructs a massive laser capable of annihilating entire cities. She stands at the edge of ultimate power, ready to reshape Wakanda's destiny through fear and domination. But even as she prepares to strike, Shuri confronts her. Shuri's words cut through the pride and fury that drive Bask. She reminds her that Wakanda is not meant to be a conqueror, that true strength is not found in destruction, but in unity. Bask hesitates, and in that hesitation, the core begins to spiral out of control. The weapon she unleashed threatens to consume everything, Wakanda included. Realizing the cost of her ambition, Bask makes a final choice. She attempts to stop the weapon herself. In doing so, she is destroyed. Her body crumbles to dust, her reign ending as quickly as it began. The aftermath is bittersweet. T'Challa returned to prevent Wakanda and Atlantis from going to war by defeating Killmonger and the Shadow Council. However, the war changed him. After defeating the Shadow Council and surviving the Crown's trials, T'Challa saw the cost of carrying two worlds, King of Wakanda and an Avenger. He knew his people needed a leader fully devoted to the throne. That's when he made the choice to step aside. Shuri had proven her strength, wisdom, and vision for Wakanda's future. So T'Challa vacated the throne and Shuri rose as queen, not through rivalry like Bask, but through trust and unity between siblings. Bask was created for Avengers Assemble, but her impact is undeniable. And with Marvel diving deeper into Wakanda's past in projects like Eyes of Wakanda, who's to say Bask won't finally step out of the shadows to rewrite Wakanda's future? What do you think? Should Marvel bring her into the live-action Black Panther universe? Will you like to see Bask on the big screens? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button if you enjoyed this deep dive, and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next chapter in Wakanda's hidden history. Wakanda forever.